Good morning, everyone. Today I'll be presenting on mobile forensic, which basically focuses on analyzing application level data from smartphones to uncover digital evidence. With smartphones becoming central to our daily lives, they store massive amounts of personal and behavioral data. This makes them one of the richest sources of digital evidence in modern investigations. Moving on to our next slide. As shown in the slides, we have divided our presentation into three main phases. First, we'll cover the theory and context. Second, we will explore the threat landscape, which includes real world studies like Cambridge Analytica and Pegasus. Finally, we'll move to scenario implementation, where we demonstrate how forensic analysis is actually performed using tools and techniques like database analysis and reporting. Moving to the next slide. So this is one of the case study. We look into the Cambridge Analytica scandal, which has actually affected more than 87 million users. The key point here is that the data wasn't hacked in a traditional sense. It was collected using Facebook's own API permissions, and then it was misused. The extracted data include profile information, social connections, behavioral patterns, and even inferred political opinions. The important takeaway here is that not all threats come from malware. Even trusted applications, if misused, can lead to massive data breaches, which is why forensic analysis must focus on permission misuse. Moving forward, this is the next Pegasus extraction. So here in this, the highlights were basically on the Pegasus spyware, one of the most advanced surveillance tools. So it could extract private messages, call logs, GPS location, emails, photos, and even access the microphone and camera without the user's awareness. The key insight here is that the mobile devices store and transmit extremely sensitive data, making them prime targets. Also, without proper forensic tools, such attacks would remain undetected. Mobile forensic helps in recovering this and analyzing this hidden activity. Next slide. So the WhatsApp Pegasus exploit. So in this slide basically explains how Pegasus exploited a vulnerability in WhatsApp using a zero-click attack. This means that the users did not even need to interact. Just receiving a crafted call was enough. The exploit allowed full devices while leaving minimal traces. From a forensic perspective, if we see the two key lessons emerges. First was the vulnerabilities at the app level can lead to complete system compromise, and second, even deleted or hidden activity can often be recovered through databases analysis. Next, moving forward, so this is the structural landscape of mobile forensic. This slide shows the different types of data that mobile forensic focuses on. This include communication like calls, messages, location history, the behavioral data such as app uses, and authentication data like tokens and credentials. Most of the data is stored inside app-specific directories, especially in databases like SQLite. Moving forward, this is the four-stage forensic pipeline, and it's basically, it focuses on four stages. The first one is acquisition, where we extract the data without altering the original device. Second is preservation, ensuring data integrity using hashing techniques. Third is the analysis, where we examine databases, permissions, and timestamps. Finally, reporting, where findings are documented in a clear and legally acceptable format. This process ensures that digital evidence remains reliable and admissible. Moving forward, the evidence integrity and chain of custody. This slide focuses on maintaining evidence integrity. Once the data is extracted, it is immediately hashed using algorithms like MD5 and SHA-256 to create a unique digital footprint. Any change in the data will alter this hash and make tampering detectable. The chain of custody ensures that every step from collection to analysis is documented properly. This is critical because without proper handling, even valid evidence can be rejected in the legal proceedings.
Moving into the technical toolkit and the forensic findings. To understand how an app behaves, we first have to look at the bridge between the device and our workstation and the internal architecture of the app itself. We rely on three primary tools to peel back the layers of an application. First is ADB or Android Debug Bridge. Think of this as our direct pipeline. It allows us to pull entire data directories of the phone for local analysis. Next, we use Wireshark to monitor the network. If an app is bleeding data, a command and control server, Wireshark is where we catch that exfiltration in real time. Finally, there's APK tool. Since an APK is just an compiled package, we use APK tool to reverse engineer it back into readable code. This is how we find hidden API endpoints or hard-coded keys that the developers thought were buried. Moving to the next slide. Once we have the APK, we look into its essential a zip file containing the code, the manifest and resources. But the real gold is found in the data directory on the device. This is where the SQLite databases live. SQLite is the heartbeat of the Android forensics because it's the fil- file-based and easily accessible. Crucially, SQLite uses soft deletes, where when an user deletes a message, the database doesn't erase it immediately. It just marks that space as reusable until new data overwrites it and we can recover those ghost records. This is how we prove that the user or a piece of malware tried to hide. Moving to the next slide. Data points are useful, but a timeline is what wins cases. We take timestamp from every log and database to build a chronological story. In this specific investigation, a timeline revealed a smoking gun. In just 15 minutes, we saw the app initialize scrape over 800 contacts and immediately upload 2.4 megabytes of data to an external server. It then captured a GPS coordinate and performed a targeted deletion of its own log. Individual events might look like glitches. A sequence like this is a proven pattern of data theft. Finally, we map these findings to our OWASP mobile top 10 to categorize the risk. In this app, the security was non-existent. We found insecure data storage, where credentials were kept in plain text and insecure communication, because the app sent everything over encrypted HTTP. Even the passwords used MD5, a cryptographic method that's been obsolete for years. Essentially, the same poor security practices that allow a hacker to exploit an app are the same open doors that allow us as investigators to reconstruct the code. Thank you.
Hello, so this is Nidhi, and to ensure the investigation is structured and reproducible, I designed an automated forensic pipeline with three stages, that is, acquisition, analysis, and reporting. In acquisition, we securely extract application data without modifying the original evidence, and in analysis, the system processes database, shared preferences, and manifests to identify sensitive data and suspicious activity. Finally, the reporting phase compiles all findings into a structured HTML report with evidence, timelines, and indicators of compromise. This ensures consistency, reproducibility, and forensic integrity. The Android manifest act as an blueprint of the app, defining what it can access and how it behaves. We observe permissions like read contacts, access find location, and receive boot completed, indicating access to sensitive data and background execution. We also identified insecure flags such as debuggable and auto backup, which allows data extraction without root access. Even before analysis, the manifest reveals high risk capabilities. So after completing the analysis, the system generates a consolidated forensic dashboard that summarizes all key findings and investigation. So we have created a Python script to analyze Android data app. It scans extracted Android app data directory and parse all the SQLite database and list tables. It runs forensic SQL queries to find sensitive data and build an activity timeline from DB timestamp and generate a self-contained HTML forensic report. So here It has parsed the Android manifest XAML, then it scans SQLite database, and while scanning, it finds some sensitive things like auth token and API keys and password hash, and it builds the timeline. So let's look at the dashboard. We'll look at dashboard here. Okay. At the top, we can see summary of the investigation. We found two database and identified along with the three credential leaks. This give us quick overview of how the evidence was extracted. Then the system detected the plain text credentials stored in an application, including authentication token and API key, which is a major security issue. It also detected that it also identified deleted records as still recoverable, showing data persistence even after the deletion. We can look at it here. And database analysis. Then the tool analyzed multiple database. Here we have taken OddDB and MessageDB. From these, we extracted session data, user activity log, message, and call records. And here we can see authentication tokens and session data, which should never be stored in plain text, are stored in that way. Then we can also recover deleted message from the database. Example, we can see here. For example, this message contain financial details like account number and IFSC code, which proves that deletion doesn't mean a clear erase of the data. On right, we have constructed a timeline. The application is opened, then it is accessed over 800 contacts shortly after it uploads 2.4 MB of data and captures GPS location and finally deletes the file. This clearly indicate a data pattern: collect, transmit, and then delete. So this dashboard transforms raw application data into structured forensic evidence, allowing us to clearly identify suspicious behavior. It is just an example of how this data is analyzed usually on day basis. And to validate these findings, we mapped them on an OWASP mobile top 10 vulnerabilities. First, insecure data storage, where credentials are stored in plain text. Second, insecure communication, where data is transmitted over unencrypted HTTP. Third, insufficient cryptography, where weak hashing algorithms like MD5 are used. These are the well-known industry vulnerabilities, and their presence confirm that the application violates multiple security best practices. Interestingly, the same weakness exploited by attackers are the ones that enable forensic analysis. So, while local data can be deleted or modified, network transmission cannot be reversed. In this case, the application transmitted data over an insecure channel, making it observable in plain text. This provides strong evidence that sensitive data actually left the device and was sent to an external server. So, even if the app tries to erase the trace locally, the network evidence remains intact. So now let's take a look at a three immutable laws of mobile forensics. From this investigation, the three key principles we got is: first, data persists. Deletion does not mean erasure. Digital traces almost always remain recoverable. And second is security is a two-way street. The same weaknesses used by attackers can also be used by investigators. And the third is methodology is everything. Without a structure and a reproducible process, raw data cannot be transformed into reliable evidence. Mobile forensic transforms raw device data into structured, verifiable, and legally creditable evidence. So now let's take a look at the new generation investigation ecosystem. That is, mobile app forensic is evolving rapidly as applications become more complex and secure. In the future, AI will play a major role in automatically detecting the suspicious behavior and hidden threats. Investigation will also extend beyond devices to include cloud and cross device data correlation. With increasing encryption, techniques like memory forensic will become more important, and we will also be moving towards the real time monitoring instead of only post incident analysis. At the same time, handling privacy and legal constraints will be a major challenge. Overall, mobile forensic will become more intelligent, proactive, and integrated in future. So, as a mobile device becomes central to digital life, mobile forensic will be essential for ensuring accountability, security, and trust. Thank you.